ago indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Wow. Thank you for joining me again. Another day, 718. Day before yesterday, we talked about surrendering to what is. Yesterday, we talked about letting go of expectations, of other people's opinions. And finally, today, we'll talk about acceptance. How once you let go of something, you have to accept. It's interesting how the universe works sometimes, where today, waking up, the power came on at about 8 a.m. and spent some time kind of like sitting, having a conversation with Christian, and then got up to turn my computer on, and it's just not working, all right? And I was like, bruh, what do you mean you're not working? Oh, like you worked yesterday perfectly fine, and now suddenly no more working. And I just sat down and I accepted it. And I was like, well, guess this is my life now. And I meditated for like a few minutes. And in the meditation, it comes to me that I should probably ask Reddit. And after I finished my meditation, I basically went through a bunch of different processes of trying to get my computer fixed, and none of it works. So I accept it and I sit down and I leave it. And in that place of acceptance, feel like there is this question arising in me, like, what am I gonna do? Is there anything that I need to be doing? And then the whole Reddit thing comes up in my mind. I check the internet, I find some sort of solution. I'm supposed to unplug all my peripherals, let my computer go through the boot loop, find itself in the BIOS, switch display port cables to another port, and then have it actually display the BIOS, replug my peripherals, go into my BIOS, rechange my settings, relaunch it. It launches with my peripherals inside of it, doesn't launch. I have to pull the peripherals out again, then launches with other peripherals. And I was like, huh. That's a lot of hoops to jump through to turn on my computer. I hope it's not this way every single time. And even if it has to be, I'll accept that too. So I feel today's whole vibe is just this deep one of acceptance. So tell me, friends, what is it you feel you have been accepting? Immune support, purifying, antiviral. Restores equilibrium. Let's do stress away in that case. Yeah, if we're gonna accept things, I want to be in a state of equilibrium. That smells so nice. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate the love, Medicine Mother. Joy Vive, so much love to you. It's nice having you here, Maxine. You were missed yesterday, my friend. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Hi, Maxine, Joy Vive, Sam, Mel. How was your thing, Maxine? Your meeting, your coaching call? I'm not exactly sure what it's called. Stress Away has been my friend lately. Mine too. I think I've used Stress Away more than any other one, actually. Yeah, you can notice how, trying to get them to be completely. I'm definitely using I'll have to buy more. Yes, Shannon. I'll speed run using your oils. Cheers to you, friends. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I'm going to lean into this place of acceptance. My life is about to change drastically. Sam, it's nice having you here, friend. It was nice having you in the yoga as well. Mel, Supreme Overlord. Brother Ryan is saying hi to you too. Love you, homes. Have you tried simply sitting down with your stress and telling it that it's not working out? I did. I did exactly that, Sam. I did exactly that, where I was just like, I'm not going to. And you know what's the weird thing for me as well? I noticed how much else there is to think about. Hey, Quentin, it's nice having you, friend. You might not have the best audio quality or best perspective in this stream, but if you want better, both video and audio, you can find us on YouTube. Same username. Love you. I was sitting down, like during the acceptance part of today, the sitting down and just being with the fact that my computer is broken again. I noticed just how much else there was to think about, right? That I could be thinking about so many other things. And now, because of this expectation I had for things to work, I'm thinking about this one thing specifically. And instead of perpetuating this feeling of, oh, it's broken, why isn't it working, over and over again in myself, I caught myself doing that and changed my pattern of thinking into one of thanking the universe for the things that are actually working. And it started with my body, where I was in a deep place of appreciation for the fact that I can wake up every morning and just like my legs aren't suddenly not working, for example, right? That my body has this consistency, this working consistency to it. My cell phone that I'm streaming on right now is still working. These microphones is working right now. Other cell phone. Just glad to see another South African on here. Quentin, it's lekker om jou hier te sien ook, man. Ja, ons moet hierdie land representeer. Mense weet nie. Het voel rarig asof ons bietjie in die ou tyd lewe baie keer. Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom. It's happening tomorrow at 12. There we go. I've been prepping meditation, cleansing my crystals, and doing a deep cleanse on my space before it happens. Mel D, that scarves colors on you is a total vibe, yo. Thank you. This is also a gift from Christian. Look how the pattern changes somewhere in the middle. Did you friends notice that? It's like there's two patterns. Comes in on the one side, changes on the other side. Magic. Melody, thank you again. Maxine, you want some joint, Christian?
I'm good for now, thanks.
All right. The intentions we wrote on this is open and love. Open with an infinity symbol, as in open yourself to infinity, and love. Open yourself to the infinity that is love. Acceptance. Accepting acceptance. Yesterday's big point for me, the thing that kind of like really resonated with my mind, was this understanding that we're going to be expected to let go of things all the time. And I feel in the same way that topic is coming back again today, of just how much you will be expected to be accepting of. Right? There will be things that disappoint you, things that do not go as planned, things that kind of derail your, excuse me, interpretation of how things were supposed to go. And if we don't learn how to accept these things deeply and completely, we're always going to feel like things are wrong, right? I feel like once you completely accept, there is no wrong anymore, because you have come to the conclusion that there's nothing to disapprove of, there's nothing to change. Jania praat jy. Where are you from, if I may ask? Cape Town, maybe? Technically, I'm living in Pretoria right now, but I've spent most of my time growing up in a little town called Groblersdal, which is even more of a while away. Quentin, how about you, friend? Hey, Dr. Nova. I don't think it's our Nova, but it's nice having you here, Nova. Pretty. Thank you, Joy V. It's a gift from Christian, after all. It's not the most complicated of scarves, but it does have its own charm. And it's going to contribute to our flowers from now on. Olaf Christian, in his own way, contributing his influence. For some reason, my mind feels very, you know what, let's say accepting. I feel like I'm accepting, and that acceptance is, in a weird way, bringing along with it quietness in my heart. Power's back. How is the power back? Oh, it's 4. Went off at 2. How about this for something that you could accept? Practice being the presence of heaven. Practice being the presence of heaven, Christian. Can you do that? How do you be the presence of heaven? Sounds a little bit easier said than done. Calm, peace, acceptance, I feel is going to be a big part of heaven as well. Right? And heaven is one of those words that's so ethereal that we don't really, I believe at least, we don't really know what it is. And even if we knew what it was, it would only be that for that person, right? It would only be that for you. I see a gobbledygoo. Acceptance is so important. I found accepting where I am in life has helped everything flow abundantly. I feel the same thing. I feel once you accept your experience as it is, you realize that this experience is abundant, right? Instead of wanting for more, you accept what is. And what is infinity, right? So you have a lot more instead of creating this narrative that you don't. What do you think about that, Christian?
Sorry, busy.
He's also gonna miss me. I'm from Cape Town, that's why I ask. Yeah, I know Groblersdal, you do. Lovely load shedding. It is great, isn't it? But this space has helped me manifest batteries. So I have a UPS that makes sure the internet stays on, even when the power is off, which really helps. I got $100 gift card from someone this weekend. I left it on a side table, and my dog Louie ate most of it. I chose to accept rather than be angry. That's big of you, Brother Bear. Oh goodness, yeah. You know, and it's an interesting thing to me, dude, how I feel like at the same time, all of us are going through our own trials and tribulations, always, right? It's almost like this ceaseless process of humanity collectively contributing to the conscious evolution of our species by accepting what is, by becoming stronger regardless of the difficulties we face. I feel like it's almost like we're coding an old part of our humanity out of ourselves. How do we communicate that responsibility to one another? And are we willing to accept it? You have patience. You have the patience, Monka. He does. Money comes and goes. I probably would have spent it on dogs anyway. The card was super sweet, and the gesture meant a lot to me. So I place value on the experience of the gift instead of the cash. The person loving you enough to want to give that to you. They say dogs are smart. My cats would never eat my cash. I'm sorry. I like how Joey Beef is like throwing a little bit of shade while also sympathizing. If you have any of the pieces left, you can take them to the bank to see if they'll give you a new one. Pretty sure they'll still do that. They do, usually. You can take, like if you have like part of the barcode or something, that you can potentially, get yourself another one. Is Supreme Underlord wearing his sassy pants today? It seems that way, Maxine. I feel there's a lot of things changing, right? I'm leaving very soon. I'm leaving within the next 4 days or so. So we all deal with acceptance differently, right? And I think it's gonna be an experience. Nah, I just threw $60 away. They're puppies. I wouldn't have left it on their level. I never have cash anyway, so I didn't think. It's okay. I get that as well, actually. I don't know when the last time was that I actually had, like, even more than $20 in cash in my wallet. Cash is dead. Oh man. I'm tripping out about how many people are still kind of skeptical about the cryptocurrency age that's coming and how it's not real money because it's not tangible. But most of the money in the world right now is already digital. We've already come to a place of acceptance that money is it's a joke, honestly. You know, I've been thinking about this a lot, about the current monetary system we have, the inflation that we're getting wrecked by, the jobs that we're trying to work, the employers trying to pay us as little as possible, the employees trying to do as little work as possible for the same amount of pay, the kids, oh goodness, the kids getting brainwashed, believing that there is some sort of glory, some sort of fulfillment in having a lot of money. Something that I recently noticed, and I think I noticed it during, our stay here at Christian's place, is how when I was a 6-year-old going to school, my parents would give me like a $50 cent, 5 rand, every Friday. And I could buy myself like 3 pieces of candy or 1 piece of candy and a small pack of potato chips or 2 like water ice, flavored water ice sachets. I don't know what you're supposed to call them. Ices. We call them ices in Afrikaans. And it was this genuine experience of almost like power, freedom, in a normally very rigid and decided for you fashion, right? And it brainwashed me from a young age to have some sort of fascination with money, wanting money, wanting to be wealthy, wanting to be able to buy things that I want. And I feel ultimately it stemmed from the whole system of school, of the work in the first place, of I had to do something outside of my control for so long, but I got compensated for this thing, and then I can do something for myself outside of this thing, and then that makes me feel like I have some sort of control, and then I go through that loop over and over again. And it's not like I don't accept that that's the way it is, right? I'm still going through that process ultimately. I wonder how we're gonna adapt to doing crime with money without cash. Yeah, hopefully we won't. Hopefully crime will actually and finally lose, right? And crime only arises by making things illegal. I know that's a joke. It's kind of a joke, semi-joke, right? It's only crime because someone says it's illegal. Otherwise, you're just going about your business. The point I'm trying to make more is that as soon as you, for instance, make substances illegal, you're not going to stop people from doing the substance. You're just going to shift the responsibility of distribution, quality control, sales to people who might not have the best intentions, right? So I'm watching our world change in a way where it's like, maybe human beings have control, autonomy over their own consciousness. And if we make these things available to them, teach them, the best use case, how to use these things, then maybe we could actually like reduce harm instead of criminalizing, kicking people's doors down. Crime without money. What you're saying is making sense to my brain. It's giving me hope in a way. Yeah, let's see. Let's see, Gob. Let's see how things turn out. I have to pay my gardener in cash. It kills me. It's such a hassle. People hacking crypto exchanges, crimes evolves. Yeah, it will. But the nice thing, at least, of crypto is, and ultimately, especially with the LPI, we can keep track of these things. Crypto is pretty transparent. All right, ultimately, because you're coding your financial history into the entire thing. Like that's what blockchain is. So it's infallible in a way. Like you can't mess with it. It can be hacked. You hack exchanges, but you can't hack crypto, as you said, crypto exchanges. The weirdest thing Machi ever ate was floss. He pooped it out and leaped past me with a long string with poop drops strung into it. It scared the hell out of me. That sounds like some harsh. Oh goodness. Well, highway robbery is a little more difficult these days, but I wonder if privacy will resurge once sea levels really rise and start displacing people. Piracy will resurge. I feel we won't need to. I believe from the deepest place of my heart that we're going to start taking care of people. You know, because if people start piracying, like that's a lose for everyone, you know, including the people that has to resort to that kind of behavior. Yeah, that's nasty. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Cody ate an entire spool of floss once, and I had him throw it up. Luckily, it all came out. Luckily, they could obstruct his bowel and kill him. Goodness. Don't get how pets eat certain items. Yeah, like the floss thing. How do you keep eating something? Like that's just, please. Dog Dad instincts kicking in to save the day. Gob. Woohoo! Thank you for that celebration. Mine is mint flavored and sweet smelling. That's why I reckon why maybe. Good day, lovely. Jovan, it's such a pleasure having you here. Hey, Joe Bad. Yeah. Force feeding a puppy water and hydrogen peroxide mixture for an hour is stressful and difficult for both of us, but it saved his life, or at least several thousands of my dollars. Just listening to those words makes my heart hurt. And you know what the best part is, Gobbledygoo? If it had to come to that, you would accept that too. Kyle, I was thinking about you today, Brother Bear. Toasty Malosty. Doggo, just eat everything, don't they? We walk them though. Yes, we work them. Toasty, it's so nice to have you here. Listen to this, Toasty. I can get all up and close. HD audio. We got microphones. Finally, dude. It's nice having you here, Toast. How are you doing, bro? God damn, right. God damn. Accept, fully accept. What are you looking at me, Christian? You gonna play your games? You nerd? You weeb, you. What's the other word? Nerd? Geek. That's the other one. You geek. I'm all of those things, Christian. I can call you these things. That's how it works, right?
You're a troglodyte.
I kind of like the word troglodyte, so it doesn't really offend me that much. I might have lurked a couple of streams the last few weeks. I felt your energy, Brother Bear. It's nice having you here. In swing, in words, in little fractals, you know, expressing your name. I fluff dried a great Pyrenees on Saturday, and I gave him a bathroom break. He ate dog poop off the ground. Oh, bruh. You should not do that, though. Weirdly enough, monkeys actually have a real disdain towards feces. Did you know that, Christian? They won't eat food that has smudges of poop on it. They're like, nah. Like, not, so that's the thing. Not only will they not eat poop, like that's a big no for them. But even if there's like a piece of poop next to the piece of food, they'll wash the food more. They'll spend more time washing the food. And if there's an actual piece of poop with it, sometimes they'll try and wash it. Like I think something like up to 50%, they'll just leave it completely. They're like, nah, fam. Dogs are like, nah, free game. Oh, please. My mind, for some reason, wants to render what it tastes like, the flavor profile. And I do believe dogs can taste well. One of the things that bother me about dogs is how quickly they eat food. Why do they scoff the food down like that? They really try to choke themselves on it, so almost. Uh, Cats have enough to disregard. Yeah, they do actually. Cats are clever enough as well. You mean a polar bear, Gab? Superhuman. Hi, Ryan. And hi, Ryan. Thank you. Jovan for saying love to our friends. What are you doing? What are you? You can pull it closer if you want to, Christian. What are you? I guess I can still kind of see most of the light on my face, fortunately. Hi, Ryan, Gav, Joe, Shanner, Joy, Tiger, Sam, Brother Melt, all of you friends I haven't seen yet. Missed you, nerds. Missed you too, Brother Bear. How are you feeling, man? I don't know if you know, but you should know by now that there is no more America for now. For now. 2023 might not be the year we get to see America, but 2024 does feel like it could be. Been working on recentering. Good. Anything in particular that makes you feel like you're becoming uncentered? Something pulling you away from that center? People, circumstances, substances, stories we tell ourselves. How about you, Christian? You feel centered right now?
No,
Why not?
not even in the slightest. I feel like I have seasonal lunacy happening to me right now. My laziness has gone out the window. I just don't want to do anything. I don't want to work. I don't want to look for work. I don't want to get better in looking for work. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to cook. I just want to sleep and brain damage myself.
Me too. Oh, I'm sure a lot of our friends feel like that right now. I don't know. I hope you heard most of what he said. Basically, that we're tired. We don't want to do shit. We don't. I guess it's like the end of the year thing as well. Probably does have an effect. Pets are weird little souls, here to experience after all, right? And maybe there's an experience to be had, no matter what it is. What's been working for you, Toast? Do let us know, dude. Teach us how to recenter as well. We can always gain from each other's experience. One of my past dogs ate kitten poo out of the litter box, Janansky. I call them crunchy kitten nuggets. I'm just imagining the sand crunching between his teeth, dude. Oh goodness. I ask because I need to recenter pretty bigly. Medication to ease the stress of the world kind of blurred the last 3 years for me. More than would have been microdosing consistently for the last month. It's a challenge. A lot comes up. Everything is weird. This is true. I've also been microdosing, weirdly enough. Not every day, but pretty consistently. Like maybe every 4 days. About. I took one yesterday. It's been allowing me to focus on the things that need to be fixed. Extremely uncomfortable, but very motivating. That was weirdly enough yesterday's vibe as well. We talked about letting go of familial expectations of all meds now. Gang, freaking gang. We're proud of you, dude. So no more SSRIs. Thank you for letting us know, Brother Bear. For showing that it's possible. Sounds like depression coming on. Christian, take care of yourself. Uh, you feel depressed though?
Not really.
It's just, I feel Christian has been getting his ass handed to him by a process of change, right? Like getting a new job sucks.
It sucks. I saw myself like a whole.
Yeah, have to dance and prance to the silly dress code party.
Dance and prance in the city trance in the fancy dress code party.
Yes, that one. My dad says he's eating Hershey's Kisses. It sounds nice, actually. I'm gonna buy my family some chocolate as well on top of their presents. I have a chakra meditation playlist I can share in the Discord if there's any interest. Please
Have
do,
you seen the
Sam.
price of Ferrero Rocher recently?
No, what does it cost?
It's like $200 for 6 of them or something.
That's like $13 for 6 little chocolate, nut covered chocolate balls.
Or maybe 12 of them. Let's call it 12 of them.
Like 12 I can understand, but if it's the little six ones, then I'm offended. I'm gonna have to go and buy my family some, well, I don't have to do anything. I want to buy my family some chocolate as well. They also asked for Lindt. I'm like, does my siblings like anything in particular? My mom is like, Lindt. You know, fancy pantsy family I have. You want to puff this joint?
Oh, sure, devil, tempt me with your riches.
Yeah. Only Earth meds now. The stuff that Mama Gaia has been providing us with this whole time. 4 off, 3 on, 0.25 gram. That's also my microdose. Dose. Nice. Proud of you, friend. Toast doing the hard work. Yes, we are. And Toasty, before you got here, Brother Bear, I shared that I believe in one way or another, every single one of us are going through our own troubles and tribulations, our own struggles, our own goodness, our own inflammations, as I put on some thieves oil. And it really is this process of evolving for yourself, your ability to interact with the whole. And as you evolve that ability of self to interact with the whole you interact with becomes different, right? Because you are interacting with it differently. And if all of us can continue doing this mindfully, accepting this responsibility, the world is inevitably going to change. I appreciate you, Brother Bear, for bringing that change into the world as well. Oh God, those melt in your mouth truffles. Yes. We're back on food again. Go, I'm good, I'm feeling better. I think so. Ferrero Rochers, they're so good. They really are so good. The white ones, Sam. I'll eat the whole bag. The Lindt ones, yeah. Those specific ones are the ones they want, Sam. Maxine, I will fight you for them. Coda, I'll get all of us. Yash! Yash! Lucid, dude. Yash is this African dude who has been tuning into our streams, found us on Reddit, moved to Cape Town in the meanwhile. It's nice having you here, dude. So nice. Lovely seeing you again. How are you doing, friend? Yeah, there's to at least 15. Here's to at least 15 more years. Hell yeah. Get the oldest good boy in the world. Can I interact with a whole pack of Ferrero Rocher? I also want to interact. Gotta go to work now. Love you, dude. Schedule never lets me tune in. Love your homes. You're here, but the bear always in the same now with us. We know that you're doing good work. We're always sending you love. We'll always be here when you come back. We keep pushing, friend. Keep showing up. Keep taking that next breath, dude. No one likes the white ones but me. So glad someone else knows the miracle of white chocolate. Of course, we have a friend in this space, Shan. It's going to resonate exactly at that point. They have them in the big box stores around here, but I avoid the aisles with large boxes of chocolate in them. Yeah, capitalisms. Christian mentions that it's a good thing that I live secluded on the farm somewhere, away from all of the capitalism and the sugar. Because when I'm on the farm and I don't have access to the sugar, it doesn't bother me as much. But if like a grocery store, I'm still a kid at heart, very much a kid at heart. And unfortunately now I'm a kid that has some money, right? I have chocolate money. I can buy chocolates. Maybe if I only buy chocolates. Amara prefers white chocolate over white chocolate over milk chocolate. That's almost too much synchronicity right now. I enjoy white chocolate. I feel almost as much as I like One of my favorite combinations is the top deck, which is like milk chocolate on top of white chocolate, right? Why not both? Gotta stay on the perimeter at the grocery store. Yeah, really be like away from all of that danger zone. I can smell the sugar chocolate walking past the candy aisle. Yeah, and it's made that way. It's probably made that way. We have this thing in South Africa. I don't know if it's that way in America as well, where they create like the sprawling line to get to the tills, and then they pack those sprawling lines with sweets so that you have to just to get to the aisle. Even if there's nobody being served right now, you have to walk through this aisle of candy and deny yourself for all of it. The manipulation, brain damage. Those Hershey's cookies and cream chocolates were always my jam. I don't think I've had those before. What is my favorite? One of my favorite candies is something called wine gums in South Africa. And then we have something else called speckled eggs, which is a jelly bean, basically, surrounded by chocolate, surrounded by a hard candy. Well, it's like not that hard, very thin layer of hard candy. Wine gums are bomb AF. Those are the ones that really get me. Like you'd probably be able to catch me in a trap with a packet of wine gums. I'd happily walk into it. Hershey's makes these mint chocolate kisses around St. Patrick's Day that I absolutely love. I don't particularly enjoy mint. Maxine, the thieves' oil is doing something for me right now. Marketing, advertising, and manipulation of our senses, impulses is so fascinating. It's interesting to consider that it is me manipulating me. Why do I do this? Because sugar. And because microbiome, right? You have organisms inside your guts that's telling you to do things. It's being like, do that thing where you eat sugar, do it. And then your brain is like, bro, why do I feel like I'm supposed to be eating sugar? Why does that chocolate bar look so appealing to me right now? Why would I fight an old lady over that? What's happening to me? Or that fractal of me out there killing other fractals of me. Why do I do that? Yeah. I believe you do that because you believe that fractal of you is only you, right? It's the separation fractal. It's like, oh yeah, that person is that person, I am me, and I have to kill that person because they're gonna try and kill me. Zero sum. And sometimes it is like that. Sometimes people do try to kill you. It's a joke. It really is a joke. And it's one that we have to learn how to accept. Again, coming to the acceptance of our unity, God. How long will it take us? And I'm going to keep manifesting this until it happens. 2024. 2044. 2044 is going to be the year of complete unity consciousness, or at least the beginning of complete unity consciousness. We can do that, right? In 22 years, get the whole world to a level of, oh, we are actually one, right? And not from some sort of hippie woo-woo. We're going to be like, oh, we're one. And then, glamour and shwa. No, sure, that too, but not necessarily just that. I'm thinking more this perspective of, oh, we're one. Let's take care of ourselves, right? In the same way you shower for yourself, you have to wash your own hair, brush your own teeth. We start doing that as a collective humanity, right? Make it practical. And then from practicality, we can go into spirituality, into the ethereal, into the fascination, into the conversational, into the art, the philosophy. We'll have fun. We'll have fun. It will be great fun. But we have to learn how to accept. And we have to learn how to accept it because we want originality / uniqueness as a self. And I feel in a lot of our minds, there can be this fear that in one way or another we'll lose individuality or specialness if we accept that we are one, right? It's like you're going to be at a loss because there's, instead of a multiplicity, there's only one. But that one is an infinity. So you cannot have more than infinity. Like Christian shared it beautifully yesterday. The question of will we end? And you can argue whether or not you believe there's an end to what we call the experience of awareness, right? But we can also argue that there is something as infinity, a set, a containment of something that goes on into everything forever, is ceaseless, non-stopping. And anything that is that vast will contain everything that could ever be, including your life up until this moment, where you die of a heart attack, and yet another version of you that is this version of you right now that didn't die of a heart attack and is continuing to live. Right? And that version of you died of a heart attack, went to its perception of heaven, and is now experiencing that level of reality, completely a part of this whole infinity. It's too much. It's too much. So we like to. Actually, I'm just 10-fingered Estian. Right? I eat food. I breathe air. I drink water. And if I don't have enough water and someone else has water, then I could justify, because I'm thirsty, taking the water from the other person. Only me. Only I'm gonna do as well. Locked in a little box that you call yourself, because that's what they do, God. That's what we do sometimes. The self version of MK Ultra. Yeah, that was a bit much, and I believe that the people that were administering these doses and these experiments weren't actually taking these things themselves. These is actually good for curbing sugar cravings. Of course it is. Antifungal, anti-infection, antibacterial, antiseptic, antiviral, purifying, and immune supporting. It's just wafting over my neck and over my nose. It smells amazing. I have to break free of my coffee mate addiction, but I can't afford to switch to heavy cream, and I can't not drink. I drink it black. Anyone have tasty alternatives? Drinking black has been my go-to with that. And consider cream. Consider heavy cream, Sam. I don't know if it will be that expensive, because the nice thing about heavy cream is you get to use so little of it. Like you can use like legitimately 20 mils, right? And then you can buy a bottle of like 250 mils, and that could theoretically last you 10 days, which could be comparable to the price you pay for milk or some sort of alternative creamer. I want to murder my sugar cravings, complete unity consciousness. So we're gonna mind melt and eat all the chocolates. Murder the sugar cravings. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because on a real and visceral level, your body, most human bodies, burn sugar as its primary fuel source, right? Glucose. So sugar gets turned into glucose. Fructose gets turned into glucose. Whatever sugar you eat, your body turns it into glucose for your brain and for your muscles to use that as a fuel source. So in a way, if we don't have some sort of craving for sugar, we wouldn't have like a massive appetite. We can switch over to keto, more fat-based, protein-based. That could be an option, a way of living in the future, especially with VAT-grown, calories. That could be a viable alternative, but sugar cravings completely being cut away is going to be a difficult one, especially since you're diabetic. Goodness. Like eating all of the chocolates could literally kill you, right? Coconut milk Sam could work actually. Half and half is my jam for coffee Sam. There we go. You can get scientific with your brewing method and buy craft roasted special coffee beans that taste delicious when black, but No one has the patience for that except for me. But I'm a professional. Gobbledygoo, I have been basically just getting store-bought beans, right? Crushing them myself and then pressing my own coffee. And that has already been exponentially better than drinking what I call unmarked coffee. It's like Kool-Aid coffee. It's a way to translate it into English, right? It's like you put the powder in the water and then it's coffee. And like that coffee, for some reason, I cannot even, tolerate drinking black. But a properly made, personally ground, cup of coffee is usually pretty fire. I look forward to having a cup of coffee with you one day, Brother Bear. Noise, Shannon. I've been caving to sugar so much this holiday season, but it's time to get back under control. Whipping out my thieves well tonight. Please do. Thank you, Chauvin, for showing up as that friend. Sam, condensed milk was a fantastic replacement when I could still drink dairy. Now I use the powdered hazelnut Coffee Mate. That sounds nice as well. I always want potato chips. They're my weakness, guilty pleasure, yeah. And I cannot just eat a few of them. It has to be like an entire bag, sometimes even multiple ones. So it's like it's an on and off switch for me as well. Like I either can or I can. It's completely. If you like spicy, Mr. Unfroze habanero mango salsa, that sounds pretty sick. With you there, Gab, try not to let chips into the house for that reason. They don't stay long, oat milk, Sam. Yeah, I completely agree. Chips is also, I think, my biggest weakness. It goes chips, then some sort of jelly candy. Any jellied candy doesn't stand a chance. It's not gonna survive. Pre-ground, fresh ground is best. Pre-ground goes stale too fast. Joe, but I allow myself one bag a month. I allow myself one cup of coffee per day for the same reason as well. Like you can do these things in moderation. Like it's once you overdo it that they can become harmful. Thank you, Brother Bear, for being so, dedicated and mindful of your use of them as well. Yeah, my two coffee options are Cartado from the Specialty Coffee Shop or the Nescafe Double Decadent. I don't think I've had either of those, Yash. I have this little press. Ugh. Gob might not approve of this, but it's an AeroPress. You basically load it with a coffee filter that you can pop out, and then beans. It's so crazy, huh? I hope, like, I can't exactly explain the stuff my mind goes through, but I see one of these little beans, right? And to my mind, especially with them laying on top of each other like that, this is like half of what used to be a seed, that was covered by like a little fruit. It was taken out of that, it was put out to dry, then it was roasted, and then it managed to find itself traveling thousands of miles to eventually find itself right here in this apartment. Thank you, Christian, for manifesting beans. So. And then I get to make myself coffee. An amazing cup of coffee a day. So great. It's true that the blondes are more caffeine than the darker blends. I swear Sumatra gives me more of a caffeine rush, and blonde tastes like dirty water. They say that the longer the coffee bean is roasted, the more caffeine is cooked out of it. So you want a lightly roasted bean if you want more caffeine? I guess that I'm understanding that correctly. If that is the case, I'm gonna make sure to only get lightly roasted beans from now on. I love the AirPress. It's so great, Yash. It's so great. It really is nice. It's such a convenient way to make myself one cup of coffee a day. I've never seen one of those. It's let me show you what I mean with the little paper filter. It really is one of those things, that you see online and you're like, I need that. I was making myself one cup of coffee a day with a normal French press, one of those little steel mesh ones. And it was working fine. But every single time I had to clean it, the grime would get like stuck in between the crevices. And I would kind of like get my finger in there to clean it up. And I cut my finger really bad one time trying to clean it as well. And I was not having a good time. So this is the filter. One little filter. You pop it in there. It's wet right now, and if I put it in there, it's gonna wreck the filter, so I'm not gonna do that. But put it in there. It seal presses against this little rim. It's like pressurized, pushing the liquid through it, and then you get yourself one single cup of brewed coffee on the other side. And then the process of like throwing away your filter is legit just pressing this plunger through after removing this little cap. And then all of the coffee grounds and the little filter alongside it, which is made of paper, is instantly discarded off. It's so nice. It's so nice. I actually bought myself some more filters. It's like $6 for 350 filters, paper filters. So I feel, I was like actually thinking to myself when I initially when I wanted to get the product, I was like, oh, they're probably going to scalp you on filters, to make it make more sense financially. And then it was like $6 or $7 for the filters. And I was like, all right. I use a French press. Okay, there we go. I've never seen one of those. I use a French press. How does the AirPress work? I hope that was a good enough explanation. I've always understood that dark roasts have more coffee flavor, but less caffeine. I thought they had more caffeine because they had more coffee flavor this whole time. The more we know. Right now, I've literally gained information I didn't have before. I French press too. It's so nice. It really is, in my opinion, a massive step above, most of the coffee we make ourselves. You can get aluminium filters with finer holes for deeper extraction. I saw those. Would you recommend that, Yash? Would you recommend that? I feel maybe if I plan on buying myself another pack of filters, I'll just get myself the little aluminium filter maybe. Rope my French press. Thanks for the Christmas idea though. Siobhan, maybe getting yourself an AeroPress is a plan. Exactly, Melty. For me, one of the cool things about it as well is just the ease. Like it really is the ease of using it. Unfortunately, it's not exactly something that you can use to make a bunch of people coffee. You can, but it's very tedious in that way because at least in my process, I have like a little scoop. So I scoop beans, I put it in my little grinder, turn the grinder upside down, have it in a little top. It's a little cover, which also serves as a little container for the ground beans. And then I put the filter in, boil a certain amount of water. Instead of boiling a whole unit full of water, I only boil the amount of water I'm going to put in my cup. Then I add water over my grounds, stir it up, add some more water, and then you basically top it, creating a vacuum. So it like kind of stands in the water. Press through it, and then turn off the cap, and you can discard off the little grounds. And then if you want to make everyone a cup of coffee, you have to do that 6 times, for example, right, with my family. So it's not the most efficient way to make a lot of coffee, but it is a really efficient way to make really good coffee for yourself. I only had the aluminum filters actually, and never used the paper ones, but I'm sure they're both good. There we go. Very interesting, Yash. Now I'm considering it because I even saw them. When I searched AeroPress filters, I saw those aluminum filters, but I think they were like $20 a pop or something like that. So I was like, yeah, My paper filters have been serving me well. I don't want to take a chance on something that I don't know. There is an air pressure element in an AeroPress that extracts more solubles, flavors from the bean, when pressed through the filter. Kind of like an espresso machine, which uses 8 times the pressure of the atmosphere to quickly extract the solubles. You hear that, Christian? God was dropping wisdoms on me. That's why these coffees taste so good, dude. Yeah, because you do add pressure. I actually like lay with my full body weight, my chest body weight, on that plunger, pushing that coffee through the filter.
Might be a good idea later on.
You want yourself a coffee, Cristiano?
A little bit later.
I'll make you one now, dude. I'll have our friends, tune in from afar. And I can technically still chat. Like I was just talking about this whole process, so maybe we can see what it looks like from afar.
Merci à vous.
You're so welcome, Holmes. Dum. Get your cup. Suddenly I feel like I'm performing. It's like I'm a robot that has to fulfill a certain amount of tasks, and I'm being timed. Like the engineers are watching me right now, and if I don't perform well, I'm gonna get reset, or I'm gonna this version of me is gonna cease to exist. Is that too much? Please, brain. Why are you like this? Why are you like this, brain? Malty's tall. I'm not tall, Maxime. I'm like a small, tiny little being living on Earth right now. That Mike has changed the stream game, right? It's like it makes me so happy. I guess I should be out of bed and get a bit of coffee. We can make coffee together. Everyone's talking about coffee. I'm over here. I love a cup of lavender tea. Lavender tea sounds like a whole vibe, Shannon. I don't think we ever have to apologize for liking some lavender tea. I mean, lavender is supposed to calm down your central nervous system, right? Let's see how many things I can forget. I think this is the last one. The grinder is probably going to make a lot of sound. Let's see if I can do some ASMR vibes. I don't know if the kettle was a little bit of a distraction. Probably. This is going to be loud, so I'm going to cover you friends a little bit. Add some water, give it a nice little stir, get all of those beans wet and incorporated. Add a little bit more, and then add the plunger, and then we leave that for like 2 minutes. I want beer and potato chips. That sounds so nice as well, actually. Dude, beer and potato chips was my Christmas in 2019. My workplace, the school we were working at, gave me one of those big, almost like market bags of small individually packed potato chips and 24 beers as our Christmas bonus.
24 beers.
Yeah, like 500 ml beers. I got so wasted while eating so many potato chips.
Dude, that sounds like such a ball.
It was very nice until I felt like absolute ass. The detail that the mics pick up is wild. It makes me happy. I have not. Sounds easy to make the chamomile lavender with oat milk has been me and Zoburb's go-to. It calms him down and gets him all lovey-dovey cuddly. That's so beautiful. Chamomile and lavender works on birds too, dude. How about that? The mix would pick up on my I only have a tiny bit of coffee left this morning. I'm gonna stretch it out with chocolate milk. It sounds nice. I got some chamomile lavender tea. The lavender is so faint and so sweet. I'm happy it is, right? I'm kind of like thinking about the fact that on a very visceral level, he probably gets the central nervous system and like brain calming effects as well. Extract those solubles. Extract. Yeah, it also has that sound effect at the end of it. You were just talking about farts, Gab. Skadish. Done. That's the cleaning process, basically. You can rinse it as well. I probably should, but I'm gonna, for theatrical reasons, not. Your coffee is ready.
Yeah.
Supreme Overlord, Wizard King.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You like that? I have 0 beans. Probably gonna order coffee in this morning. That sounds nice. The beans I brew at home were grown in Ethiopia and roasted in Texas. Gab is actually so bourgeois, you know? Like, I feel like I'm being bourgeois by by like crushing my own beans, and Gab has gone, beyond that even. Like, he's not only crushing beans, he knows where the beans come from that he's crushing. Dude, I like levels, dude. I like that. Yo to you, your dad loves me. At least he's loving someone, dear friend. Thank you for joining us too. The beans I grew at home. Yeah, one day, Gab. One day, dude. I know that there are cool services. Like recently, Holmes, I saw this service that packages name brand body sprays in like 15 ml bottles or 30 ml bottles instead of the full 150 ml bottles. And then you have like a little container that it slots into. And then you can use that scent for 2 weeks, a month, instead of for 2 years. And then it's like a subscription service where they send you new scents every month in those small little bottles. And
That's quite nice.
it's basically the same price as what a normal bottle would cost you as well, but you get 4 different. So I was like, that's sick.
Recyclability.
Yeah, and I was like, I would do that. And then it was like, we only ship in Canada and the US. I'm like, of course you do. Of course you only ship in Canada and the US. And it's the same thing for like these cool coffee beans as well sometimes. Scentbird, Joy Vive knows, like, there we go, tag. Love you, Scentbird, cool idea, I like it. More power to you. Do good things, Give people the access to nice smells. I like nice smells. I say as I light the joint. Unironically, the smell of weed brings me deep comfort. Like, I don't know if you feel that way as well, Holmes. Like, I've had this, dude, where I smoke in my computer room, for example. And you're not supposed to do that, technically. Fortunately, weed smoke is not as bad as cigarette smoke, especially with the frequency of you smoking as well. I'm trying to justify something that's not even a part of the point. But I would go out of my computer room having smoked in there, and then venture into the world and be met with some whack shiznit. So, let's not even go into the whatever whack shiznit, but And then I'll feel like a deep sense of discomfort or dissonance with my world. And then I'll get back into my computer room and that smell hits me. And I'm like, ah, yes, lack of judgment, nice, freedom. Is acceptance the opposite of judgment, Christian? I feel it could be. And this is also a part of the thing that we realized yesterday, right? That the thing I so desperately need to let go of, because I'm so desperately holding on to it, is my want for my family to accept me. Right? I get to be the one that accepts them. Accept them. Why can't I use words right now? Instead of trying for what? Like I'm actually having a hard time. I'm coming to a deep place of acceptance that it does not matter whether or not my family accepts me. Right? The only thing that really matters is whether or not I accept myself. Because I spend most of my time with myself, right? Throughout our lives, 60 to 70% of all of the time we spend on earth will be spent by ourselves. Kyle, Luke, greetings to you. Glad to see you're still melting. Gang, of course. I encountered your feeds and read it in 2019 and 2020. I hope you were well. You were there for the start of it then, friend. Like the real start of it. It's nice having you here. So much blessings to you. Joy Vive, I'm allergic to perfume. How about that, gobbledygoo? How about that, dude? Like, do you get a rash when it comes into contact with your skin? I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Do you have the same reaction to essential oils? These things. They might not be as long-lasting when it comes to their strength, but you can apply them multiple times. Like if someone walked up to me smelling like this, I'd compliment them. Hey, Brother Joel is here too. Thank you for melting with us. I'm gonna use that one. Thank you, Kyle, for joining us, friend. It's so nice having you here. I can smell you through the stream. My eyes are burning. Gobbledygoo, I'm not wearing any perfume right now. I don't actually wear perfume inside. I only wear perfume when I go outside. It's a little bit of a hypocritical thing. Like inside, I usually go for more muted tones. You know, sometimes some Palo Santo, very rarely a piece of incense. And then outside, I'll go a little bit more flavorful with the way that I smell. 777 showing. Thank you for tuning me into that as well. Jolly Joe. Love you, Griffin, man. Thank you so much. Brother Griffin, Brother Joel. Like, there's something coming, dude. We got these microphones. Look at that, dude. We got some high quality microphones now. So I can finally make a little bit more tailored content. I'm making plans, dude. Your advice isn't lost on me, dear friend. I'm still actively being taught by you. I have you on my shoulder now forever. Thank you for sharing some space with us. There's some compound in perfume that aggravates my eyes, nose, and lungs. I don't know what it is. Might be phthalates. Might just be actual phthalates. So your body might just be even more defensive towards those things. And that's, in my opinion, a good thing. Lots of people get scent allergies. I don't know if there's anything for me to say about that other than to accept it, right? I feel like in my worldview, I've never had any allergies towards scents or something like that. So it makes me very ignorant to what an experience like that could be. I recently had to stop using this one perfume that I loved. It started smelling more like pee than perfume. Essential oils have never let me down. Interesting how our sense of smell changes, right? The things that we appreciate smelling changes as well. Like for some reason, smell is the one thing that I get most offended by. And I don't know if offended is the right way to say it, but like I can be pretty okay with seeing some crazy stuff, hearing crazy stuff, feeling crazy stuff, inside or outside. But smelling crazy stuff, that becomes like a very, like I think about it too much, right? The fact that we smell things is because those things literally dissolve in our mucous membranes, and then those mucous membranes stimulate for different sensors, different like literal ion gates collapsing or not. And then those ion gates send electrical signals to different parts of your brain, activating a whole sensory experience. And then I think about whatever bad thing I smell doing that to me and becoming a part of me and my neurons.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's my suffering. So then I get to have stuff like this, Shannon's, oils. And it's like I'm doing the exact opposite. Instead of bamboozling my senses with stuff that I don't enjoy, I get to do it with stuff that I do. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 11 friends watching right now. Nice. Synchronicities. Thank you, friends, for being so perfectly here right now. Come to the bay, you'll hear of allergies to things you've never thought possible. Yeah, I'm allergic to when you're right and I'm wrong. It makes my throat constrict, makes my knees weak, makes me feel like I should be running away, makes me feel like I might not know everything in the world. I'm so allergic to it. I can't use a natural scents in my casa because of my burbs. So sometimes I boil cinnamon. I boil cinnamon, vanilla, citrus peels, knowing to grow flowers this summer to boil yummy petal smells. Giovanna is on levels, dude. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Shannon, how cool is that? I think you could do stuff like that as well. Like I've been thinking a lot, Shan, a lot. Like my brain has been exploding. I actually went and used some cool AI tools today. So how do I explain this? I basically went, Shan, and I'm starting to think about this more and more, and typed each of these titles into an AI text to art generator. And then I'm going to take those pieces of art for each of these words and turn them into a psychedelic fractal pattern of their own. And then when you create like mixes like this, either one, I can take those different elements, those psychedelic fractals that I've made for each of these ingredients, and I can combine them into a larger flower and then fractal that flower onto itself. Or I can give you access to each of these individual flowers, fractals, and then you can put all of them as very small parts of themselves, like almost like around the perimeter, right? But it might become a little bit congested. Like this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is 5 the max? This one might have more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So maybe the combination fractal flower might be the way to go. And then we could, in some way, keep like a kind of empty space in the middle as well. And then you could, right? And this was like the more of the fractal, and I had this during meditation today. You can add like a very beautiful kind of like pamphlet to the package that you send, kind of showing the different little fractal elements of themselves and the ingredient attached to them as like a name. So you could look at the label, see little parts like the colors, the textures, for example, and then find that exact little fractal on a little sheet, right? And then you could also go completely digital, where ideally, and this is a little bit further down the line, you could actually scan that psychedelic flower and it will be linked to the database of what that flower has in it. So, yeah, ideas. Ideas to make these things even cooler, right? I want to see you become a millionaire, Shan. Straight up ballin', you know? Amara wants a PlayStation. You're like, sick, Amara. You were pretty good this year. Getting better, getting better and better, and now you get PlayStation. You know, like this is a fractal that Shannon shared recently. How Amara is now suddenly coming to terms with that she wants to be good, Christian. What do you think about that? Now she's washing dishes, cleaning things. She's she's trying to make up for all of the bad she's been. Santa's gonna see how good she is. Oh, I'm seeing so much beauty for all of us, dear friends. You're inspiring us too, Jovan. Dude, like boiling cinnamon, vanilla, and citrus peels for flavor. Boiling flowers that you grew during summer. Rose petal tea, yum for the tongue. Well, for the smell. Your friends absolutely melt me. Yes, this is like the idea I had about the batch remedies. I feel it. I feel it. I'm trying to implement it. I was at first trying to find high definition photos of these ingredients, but it's difficult to get really good stuff that way for some reason. Mm, much excited for the senses. I love all of this. I'm thinking, Shan. I really am. I really am. It's gonna take us some time, right? We're gonna figure this out. It's gonna take a lot of work, but we have the skills and we have the friends in this space that can help us with that as well. You know, yo, embracing vibe and creativity. Yeah, I'll be doing it. We're thinking more and more. It's like really this process of learning how to be completely newly, right? Accepting whatever fractal this is that we're a part of, right? Normal people don't fascinate about something smelling nice, right? Is that something normal people do? I feel we should normalize that stuff. Valor. This is this one is my personal favorite. Hey, Duck. It's nice having you here, friend. I see a steel heart in the middle of a fire that tries to consume it. And then that fire is surrounded by blue little waves, kind of like, almost like pedaling over itself. I thought Krampus was mostly German tradition. My lift off. My parents didn't tell us cause he's not nice. Yeah, Krampus is definitely
What a G.
not a not a friendly dude to get visited.
What a mad lad.
What a mad lad. Thank you, Mel, for thinking of me and what I do. I so appreciate your encouragement and your willingness to help me with these ideas. Growing, Shan, I believe every single one of us are capable of showing up in a way that is our fractal. And by committing to that, contributing to that, building every single day towards that goal, it's impossible for us not to get there, right? But we have to be the builder. We have to accept our roles as creators. And seeing you friends do that and how our lives are going to change as a result of our willingness to show up in that way, it's going to be mind melting.
Let's make a heaven on earth. We can do it. We just have to stop being lazy and shitty and
We have to stop killing each other.
killing each other.
Abducting, boiling, and eating annoying or naughty children seems to be a nice action for the rest of humanity, in my view. Krampus is coming for you too.
We're singing.
We're all the naughty kids, bro. Like Krampus could probably have taken care of a lot of people's nonsense. There was a episode of Hilda like that as well, I believe. It was visceral. It might have been me tripping on 7 grams of mushrooms, but the episode was pretty good as well. The way American Dad tells it, Krampus is a bro. There we go. Are you the witch from Hansel and Gretel? Christian got mad beats. Christian is an artist, a writer in every sense of the word. We just are expected
Do so love
to do
all
these things.
human beings. All human beings.
All human beings, beings. We were talking about beans a little bit earlier today. I feel like I've reached a level of acceptance of this journey that is almost too much, Christian.
Oh yeah?
It's like it's messing with me.
Is that so?
Yeah, not yet. I'm still looking for my two-bed gingerbread with enough forest cover to allow me to continue my activities in privacy. What? I get it's the Hansel and Gretel thing, but that like took my brain on a spin. I was like imagining suddenly that that's just your life right now, Sam. Actually looking. It's like, where is that freaking gingerbread house? Who needs tears? Thank you for joining us. We're just about to pull a card, dear friend. How are you doing? What are you accepting today? Today is about accepting acceptance. So much to accept.
All the accepting.
So much accepting. Oh, yo, card time it is. Are you living in a place of acceptance, Christian?
Living in a space of trying to find patience in where I am. Like I'm being harsh on myself and being like, oh, you're not doing anything right now. At the same time, it's like, Brad, it's holiday season. Chill.
Relax. You've done enough. You're gonna do yet more. It's okay to do a little bit less right now. Take some time. Be calm with yourself. I should have tagged Gob. Him abducting and eating tiny humans sounds like that witch in that story. So much to peacefully accept. Green. Maxine. Let's see. Max Beans. I never made this connection until now, but my family calls me and my sister Joe Bean and Shay Bean. There we're one. The bean. The bean unites us all. All of us probably like coffee. Stress away on the back of the neck, Christian. I'll stress away Dega's symbol, him as well. Thank you, Shan. Oh, that's
Stress
such a
me away,
narrowing,
Shan.
telling Krampus just abducts the children until they come to their senses. He also goes after young ladies. There you go. No exceptions. No exception. Expecting acceptance. No exception. Expecting acceptance. Susanna. One bean to rule them all. Gobbledygoo is also beaning right now. Lord of the Beans. I thought that. Gob, maybe you're wishful thinking. What you see in the world is what you see in yourself and all that, or something. Maybe the extra terrible ones. Maybe the ones that are like, like the bad ones from the Lord of the Fly series. Maybe they could get like Krampus. Little bit of Krampusing. I don't want to do Evangelion. Thank you for joining us, dear friends. It's nice having you here. Love you. Sorry for the weird angles and potential bad audio, but it's the way you now gives us. Perhaps it's the threat of being eaten that scares them into behaving themselves. Sometimes you have to push people, dude. Especially kids. Kids are really adamant about being assholes. Let's see if Maxine actually. So, Maxine, the card just underneath it is like perfectly green, right? And it's that same card, the day and night card, upside down. Did we pull this one yesterday or day before yesterday?
Yeah, sure.
Like I think the last time you were here even. So I feel you were very close with the green, but this is the card we pulled. The upside down Andean shaman again. Card number 22. Look at this dude bringing cosmic spiraling energy from above down, beaming it into the earth. Look at that link, that red link, holding onto a conch or something. Is that a conch? His hand gently waving you in. It's like, come here, let me tell you something. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something so cool. tells you about the Planck length. Tells you.
What?
Yeah, dude, I mean, you know, actually, okay, hear this, Christian. You understand that your brain is thinking on sine wave frequencies right now, right?
Okay.
Gamma, beta, theta, like different sine wave frequencies. And the more you tune into one frequency or another, the more you get into one mind state or another. Like the flow mind state is a different frequency than the sleeping mind state. It's a different frequency than the you're running for your life mind state. So all of these mind states can also be seen as different frequency bands within your conscious fractal or your conscious sine wave, right? And the Planck length is the smallest conceivable measurable distance.
Yeah, I do know that.
And you can tune your consciousness, the frequency at which your brain runs, at which your consciousness is oscillating within your neurology, to the point where your sine wave becomes so narrow that you clip into space smaller than the Planck length, clipping out of this universe.
So you go dead.
No, you just go transcendent.
Essentially, what I'm hearing is dead.
Like I feel like that is what this dude would be like. Come on, let me tell you something. And then he tells you that whackness. He's holding up a bag of goodies. Perhaps the reason. The welcome card. It is a welcome card. Holding coffee beans. He's so holding coffee beans. Ezrog, thank you for joining us, friend. Tuning into this fractal as well. Card number 22. Let's see. Welcome, you're right. Welcome and vessel, Shannon. This Andean shaman expresses the essence of welcome. He greets you in salutations, extending a hand and heart energy, inviting you to embrace the joy of feeling truly welcomed. He is a vessel of spirit, consciously able to receive soul energy and move it through his being, transmitting it into the world. This step geometry refers to the Andean symbol called the chakana, which is indicative of spirit moving through the lives of the people. Similar symbols are used in various cultures around the world. This card invites you to receive this welcome with a smile and an open heart. Feel how this open-hearted energy lifts your spirit and brings comfort to your being. It may be that you could use a dose of acceptance and the approval of a genuine welcome. This card may also indicate your readiness to become a vessel of spirit in order to welcome in the energies required for your sacred work. See yourself openly receiving and transmitting these messages. Trust the relationship you have with spirit and the ease with which you become a vessel when you recognize that union. Open your heart, laugh out loud, and welcome the strength of your true essence as a vessel of light. Observe, and we pulled it upside down, and I'm going to modify it a little bit. It goes, observe the joy of this space and feel that in your own being. Water to rip. Thank you, friends, for joining me. These are beans. There it is. Acceptance. You could feel like you need a dose of acceptance. These streams trip me out. The synchronicities, the ability for us to connect like this. It's nice having you here, Chris. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for that. A nice reading to sync up all of us. Something that we can all kind of be like, ah, yes. And we're going to have to welcome some things. I accept this. There we go, Brother Bear. Accept welcome. Welcome this energy, this willingness to connect, the union you have with Spirit, right? The fact that you are instead of not being. Here you are. Goodness, that's a lot. So you've been here for so long. You're gonna do so much more. Thank you for doing this with me today, dear friends. I'll see you again soon. Love you. I choose to accept the snow by placing a collection plate out and then cleaning my bong. That sounds so nice. Thank you for that, living into that acceptance. Maybe we can all, maybe end the stream with all of us stating one acceptance that you would like to implement, as a manifestation, an affirmation. What do I want? What do you want, Christian? What do you want to accept?
I accept that I'm lazy.
There we go. I accept that I want to feel important.
Oh. Y'all see, Bob.
I accept it and I choose to, from now on, practice it as something personal instead of expecting it. I'll let go of that, dude. Surrender to it, right? The last 3 days, messages coming into my mind. Choose to accept this now. I'm accepting rejection in all forms as a blessing. That's a good one.
Rejection as a blessing.
Rejection as a blessing.
Oftentimes we get handed offers that aren't really for us, but we accept them because, it's the only thing that's available right now. But if we wait and be patient and actually get through many, many rejections, at least we'll know that what we picked was more suited for us.
I accept that I can only change myself and no one else. Powerful. Beautifully powerful. And thank you, Christian, for sharing that too, dude. Like the amount of wisdom you friends kind of are pouring into my brain right now. I feel like I'm melting. I want to accept the tough, sticky feelings I have before having to do anything. That resistance. Can I recommend, really, consider maybe even listening to the audiobook of a book called The War on Art by Steven Pressfield. The cliff notes of the book basically goes that every single time you want to do something important, or something that benefits your future self, you're instantly going to be met by a level of resistance. And that resistance is there to be almost like a signpost and a will of strength.
Another good one is The Problem of Pain by C.S. Lewis. Albeit a religious approach, still very spiritual.
Yeah. So basically the point I'm trying to make, dealing with those sticky feelings that comes up every single time you have to do something, see those sticky feelings. In accepting those sticky feelings, see them as a goalpost, as a little target to be hit, right? Oh, I feel like I shouldn't be doing this thing. I feel like I want to be doing something else. I'm going to show myself just how good I can do it. Good innocent. I accept not being in control. Beautiful. Jovan, I accept love. I accept that the future is coming and that the past is leaving. Beautiful. Schwarm, schwarm, schwarm. Through the Christ Spirit, life shines into the dark, even into the creases of their own consciousness that makes for that which casts out fear. I believe in Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness, when in the Bible, they called Jesus the Christ, right? Because Christ, before that point, was basically this understanding that there is God, and then from this all God, there arises a consciousness of self. And that arising of consciousness of self is Christ consciousness. And you could say that every single one of us are embodying that Christ consciousness at all times. And if Jesus wasn't just a story, if he was actually a historically accurate person that existed, He's probably just someone who was aware, understanding on a deep and intrinsic level of this connection that we all share. And people were not ready for that shiznit. Maybe we are right now. Maybe we're ready to accept. Okay, like a slingshot feeling, I'll find the book. Please do. Susanna, it's a beautiful read and it's short. It's very thin. It's like a little, you could read it in a day type of book. And it like really kind of feels like, yeah, I've seen these things in myself and in my life. I'm happy that I'm not the only one, and I'm happy that I can implement these tools to kind of overcome that. Again, thank you, dear friends. I'll see you again soon. Love so much.